Welcome to Parable Bridge, a place where Persian wisdom meets modern hearts, through stories that awaken the spirit and connect us beyond time.
The King and His Three Sons. From Rumi's Masnavi, retold in modern English prose. Once, there was a wise and noble king who had 3 sons, each gifted with beauty, intelligence, and grace. The king loved them dearly, yet he knew that the world is fleeting and that wisdom, not wealth, must be the true inheritance of his children. As his time on earth drew near its end, he gathered his sons and said, "My beloved sons, my body is weak, and soon I will journey to the unseen world. But I leave you not in sorrow, I leave you with a test. Each of you must seek the castle of images, that wondrous place whose fame has reached all lands. Whoever returns with true understanding shall inherit not my throne, but my light." The princes, each with his own heart full of longing, set forth upon the path. The Castle of Images. After many days of travel, they reached a strange and shining fortress, the Castle of Images. Its walls were made of crystal and gold. 5 gates faced the sea, and 5 faced the land. Inside, every wall shimmered with living pictures, images so lifelike they seemed to breathe and whisper. The brothers stepped inside, awestruck. They wandered through halls of light and shadow, where forms changed shape like dreams. At the center of the castle stood a statue of a maiden, more beautiful than imagination itself, her eyes alive, her lips curved as if about to speak. The eldest brother, overcome by desire, stepped forward and said, "This is she, the beloved that poets speak of. I shall find her and bring her to life." The second and third brothers warned him not to be deceived by illusion, but his heart was captured. The elder brother's fate. The eldest brother set out to the far east, seeking the one whose image had been shown in the crystal statue. After a long journey, he reached the court of the King of China, whose daughter was said to be the living image of that statue. The Chinese king received him with grace. "O seeker," he said, "what brings you from so far away?" The prince told his story. The king listened, then tested his wisdom and courage in many ways. But his desire had darkened his reason. When he spoke, his words were proud. When he acted, his steps were uncertain. At last, exhausted by longing and confusion, he fell ill and died. His body buried in a land of strangers, his soul released to the unseen world. The middle brother. When news of his death reached the second brother, grief overcame him. Yet he too traveled east, hoping to fulfill his brother's quest. He reached the Chinese court and served there with great skill and eloquence. For a time, the king admired him and trusted his counsel. But soon pride entered his heart. He forgot humility and began to seek power for its own sake. One day, fate struck him suddenly, and he too perished. A reminder that the proud are slain not by their enemies, but by their own vanity. The youngest brother and the princess. Unlike the others, the youngest brother had journeyed inward before journeying afar. He had learned patience, silence, and the art of waiting. When he reached the Chinese kingdom, he did not speak of the statue or his father's test. Instead, he served with humility and grace, letting his actions speak. The king, seeing his sincerity, gave him honor and trust. And when the princess, the living image of the statue, saw him, her heart recognized his purity. The two were united not by desire, but by truth. Their union symbolized the harmony of the soul with the divine, the reflection joining with its source. Thus, the youngest brother fulfilled his father's wish. He returned not with riches or trophies, but with understanding, balance, and love that transcends illusion.